I just want to start out by saying, first of all, thank you very much for coming. Secondly, this is the third town hall that I've done in this British Columbia tour. First to Kamloops, full house. Second to Squamish last night, full house. And this very, very heartening gathering today in Victoria. I just want to say one thing about the party and what I'm trying to do, and then we'll go to questions right away, and quality control will be here to keep me tight and short. Why do I do this? Why does Keith do this? Why did David do this? It really is because we love our country. And we think of the Liberal Party, for all its failings, and it has a few, as being a great national institution. I didn't join a party like this when I was 17, when Mr. Pearson was the Prime Minister, and worked for Mr. Trudeau when he was our Prime Minister. I joined this institution because I believe, for all its failings, it was the great national institution. And in a country that has so many regions, so many divisions of language, of class, of region, of race, we need a national institution to hold us together as a great people. We need a national institution which opens the doors to everybody, that says no one is excluded. Whatever your race, whatever your religion, whatever your region, whatever your country of national origin, the door is open to you. Because we are a divided people. And we need to have national institutions that pull us together, that allow us to dream together, give up one big tent in which we can be in a room together and think, what do we want this country to be for our children? And that's what the party's always been to me. That's why the unity within the party is so important. And that's why our capacity to inspire the country by creating the tent within which we reason. The tent within which we reason together to figure out what we have to do for this country. About homelessness, about exclusion, about the Aboriginal citizens with whom we share the land, with our international obligations on the environment, our international obligations to a place called Afghanistan. We need a place, a tent, in which we gather on a rainy Saturday morning to think together about how to make this a better country. That's what I'm trying to do. That's the party I want to lead, and when, I think it is when, not if, when we become the government of Canada, I want to be the kind of Prime Minister who comes back to a room like this and has meetings like this where we talk again and you say, you didn't get it right, you got to do better, here's how. That's how we need to try and govern our country. So these meetings are terribly important to me. This is how I listen and learn. This is how I get better at my job. God knows I'm not perfect, but I'm smart enough to listen, and I'm here to listen to you. So without further ado, let's go to a question. The only thing I would ask you is that a question is a very short interrogative statement that ends with a question mark. Not a lot of people know that, but that is what it is. I hope we'll have lots of those, and quality control will make sure I don't turn every damn answer into a lecture. Okay, thank you.
I understand the Liberal Party is going to support C-23, the free trade deal with Colombia. I wonder, given Colombia's terrible human rights record, why would the Liberal Party wish to support them financially in a trade deal like the free trade arrangement that's sort of been put forward by Mr. Harper?
Thank you. It's a question about free trade with Colombia. Susanna and I were in Colombia recently. I don't have any illusions about the human rights difficulties in Colombia, nor with the particular problem, which is the attacks on legitimate trade unionists. The dilemma is whether engagement with Colombia is a better strategy towards internal reform of Colombia, or staying out of a free trade deal. In politics, you have to make tough choices. I've made the choice that the right strategy, in my view, is to engage with Colombia, hold them to the standards that they have committed to in the free trade deal. There are very important commitments that they've made to protect trade union rights, particularly in Colombia. and we will hold them to it. My sense of human rights, having taught this stuff a bit, is that the right way to make progress with a place like Colombia is to engage rather than disengage, and that's why we've taken the position we've taken. Thanks for your question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Ignatieff, for coming to Victoria in what's obviously a much anticipated visit. Like you, I've been a liberal all of my adult life for the same reasons that you just enunciated. And my concern, and very deep concern, is the apparent turning away by you and perhaps the party from the environmental issues as being politically unpopular. And I want to be a part of a party with integrity that does what's the right thing and not the easy thing. So the question is, how can I convince people that we haven't turned away, that we are in fact a party that's taking action on the environmental issues?
Thanks for a very good question about the environment. Here's what I'd like to offer the Canadian public at the next election. A commitment to cap and trade with hard caps on emissions for large final emitters, with 1990, the Kyoto baseline, as your baseline target. Absolute caps to get emissions down absolutely for our large final emitters. That's number one. Secondly, a very strong commitment on energy conservation. We need to take the amount of energy down for every unit of output. We need to reduce the amount of energy wastage in every house, in every home, in every car. So energy efficiency, coupled with the development of alternative energy sources. In this province, it means the development of biofuels as a matter of urgency. The third area where I think we need to lead is in relation to national water strategy, the protection of maritime habitat, the protection of watersheds, and the protection of the water treasure, which is our country. So those three things are where I want to go. And I want to tell you, as the successor of Stéphane Dion, the last thing I want to do is walk away from environmental sustainability as a clear commitment of this party to the country. One, what is your position on the Canada Wheat Board? My position on the Canada Wheat Board is, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. Yeah. Why do you not speak up to the Harper government on the tax credit withdrawal for windmills? I think I better do that. Will the Liberal Party reinstitute their plans for a universal early childhood care and learning system? The answer to that is a very emphatic yes. Will you follow up Mr. Chrétien's campaign for financing reform by entertaining alternatives to first past the post, such as single transferable ballot? Yikes. Because I was very definite and clear about at least three of them, will you allow me to be a little bit wobbly about this one? First past the post has a lot of difficulties. But I need to be convinced that alternative systems give us basic forms of political stability. I've not yet been convinced. In my view, the jury is out. I'm in favor of political reform, but we need political stability. I don't want to turn this country into, and no respect to a wonderful country, but politically it has problems. I don't want to turn this place into Italy.